Perfect movie. What book are you reading?
Oh, it's called Be Careful What You Wish For, written by R.L. Stine from the Goosebumps series. It's about a young girl who obtains the ability to wish for anything she wants. And upon wishing for anything she wants, she realizes that kind of sucks. Things start going really bad.
Huh. So you can say that she wished upon. I wonder if they'll make that in a movie or not.
Well, if they do, it would probably really suck. Wish Upon is directed by the man behind Mortal Kombat Annihilation, The Butterfly Effect 2, Wolves at the Door, and the most recent Annabelle. What did you think of the great film Wish Upon? Which, by the way, I'm not even going to sum up the plot because I just did. I read a Goosebumps plot, and it's essentially the exact same plot. It's just instead of meeting a genie or something, the girl gets a wishing box, a cursed ancient Chinese wishing box. What did you think of Wish Upon?
When did I think of what time did I just check out? I don't know. You laughed your ass off at the second death or something?
The first one.
Was that the first one?
Well, not counting the earliest, the opening scene. Basically what happens is the girl makes wishes, and people die as a result of her wishes. She gets what she wants, but at a price. And we get a lot of Final Destination scenes where people are setting up a very elaborate death scheme for something to happen that's so reminiscent of Final Destination. And yeah, you're right. I laughed my ass off.
Yeah, I laughed too. Actually, at the end, I wanted to clap. I was like, yes, that was so bad. It was good. Or,
yeah.
I thought the film was a poorer man's version of The Possession. Have you seen that film from 2012? I actually like that movie.
Okay.
It's kind of like they changed it from like the Jewish Dybbuk box to like this Chinese box that has like a demon and stuff, but they never really resolved that. So like I thought like, oh, well, you know, they could do some other stuff with this film that could be like The Possession, but it wasn't. Like The Possession had like atmosphere and like very creepy music. The music in this film, I'll let you speak about this.
Oh my God.
There wasn't much score,
no.
but there was something.
The score was just stock sound effects for jump scares. The music in this movie is basically like the assemblage of every electronic dance trance-like pop song you could find on Now 68 at Walmart.
Yeah.
It was awful.
Yeah.
It felt like it went from being a really just boring, painful teen romance back to trying to be scary with this Wish Upon box.
Yeah.
And the two just didn't mix at all.
It tried so hard to reach, and I think this is what this movie's only for like middle school girls that maybe want to go see Joey King or a scary film that's not rated R, so they get shoehorned into this, and that's the only demographic they're going for this film. And so they really played it with this music, like, hey, pop, and then we're at high school, and then, oh, there's a slap fight there's all this like cliched high school stuff we've seen a million times.
It really was. They're setting up this banner, like early in the movie, that she worked all night, the main protagonist.
Yes.
Joey King, her character, Claire. She made this big...
Wow, you remembered her name. I didn't even know her fucking name.
I had to look it up on IMDb.
Okay.
I had to look it up.
Yeah, just like it's Joey King and whatever.
Yeah. She's setting up this banner. She worked on it for a week or whatever, and the class bully, some super attractive girl, walks by and throws like a mocha latte on it or something. And she's like, whoops! I'm like, oh my God, is this like 2001 bullies?
Even before that shit.
Yeah. Oh. And then they break into a cat fight and everything.
That was I think the moment. It was ridiculous. I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on right now?
Yeah, I actually very early on in this movie realized that I could actually just make a full-on hilariosity about this movie right now. Yeah. Like I genuinely want to spoil so much about it, but since we're going to be putting this up a day before it comes out, I'll be respectful to any one of my viewers who really didn't want to see War for the Planet of the Apes this weekend and is just hoping for Wish Upon. I'll be respectful to you.
2 people.
2 or 5 people. But yeah, there are so many moments in this movie that I was stifling laughter because I didn't want to be that guy in the theater. Like if anyone else was enjoying it, so there was a lot of like for the entire runtime.
Yeah, like you said, the pretty respectful audience for a horror film screening.
Yeah.
So I understand completely what you're doing. You're like, oh shit.
Can we just talk about the first one, the old guy?
That was the second one. Remember, there's something else before that.
In the very beginning, there's an opening scene that kind of sets up the main character's motivation for like why she's guilty and why she's sad and everything. But the first death that is as a result of her making a wish is hilarious. Now, if you saw Bye Bye Man and you saw my review with my buddy John Flickinger, we talked about the deaths in that movie being incredible. Just so funny. This maybe tops it. It's basically an older man slipping in a bathtub and hitting his head, and then he gets trapped under the faucet as the water falls onto his head.
Yeah.
They treated it like it was this gigantic Final Destination scene. This really elaborate thing, like the water trickles here, he slips on it here, he falls on the faucet in just the right way. Then the hot water like scalds his forehead so he has trouble getting up, and he's like, ah!
Oh my
They
God.
could have just shown him slip and cut and just like had it be okay, he died. But they
Artistic,
have to
yeah.
they have to elongate this death scene, and it was a comedy.
All senior citizens need life alert.
Help!
I've fallen and I can't get up.
We're going to hell.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Oh. I know what I want to say.
Okay. You should include that.
Yes.
The Ridley Scott. Oh.
Oh.
Oh my God.
After his suicide, his wife was institutionalized. She swore a music box had destroyed her family. In the last 5 years or so, the box resurfaced again in Cleveland.
How scary these films are.
We talked about music that sounded like stock music.
Uh-huh.
There's an overhead shot of a city in this movie.
Yes, we both noticed this.
It was like 360p.
If that, yeah, it might have been like 480 or so. It was definitely not 1080 or above. It was blurry. And...
It was like somebody went on 4K video downloader and downloaded a YouTube clip of a city.
Yeah.
And just threw it in the movie.
That has to be not completed by the time it goes out in 4 days or whatever the hell.
What the hell was that?
I couldn't believe that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we both noticed that. It was like a second. We're like, what? That's stock footage.
It wasn't even clear stock footage.
Yeah.
It was like watching a show from the 80s that has been upscaled to Blu-ray.
Yeah, something like that.
Where
yeah.
all of the footage looks great, and then like the beach shots or the city shots are terrible stock footage 1980s quality on the
VHS converter.
That's the level of craftsmanship that went into this movie, where they're fine with like a 360p city shot. Now, if the movie comes out on Friday and it looks better,
Yeah, maybe they paid the royalties for the higher quality version.
but I feel like at this point, I mean, we're filming this on Monday night. Mm-hmm. I feel like at this point,
It's probably final.
it's done. Like they're sending it to theaters now.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Speaking of, do you want to talk about the little clip that they gave us for the three
Why
young
not?
actresses?
Why not? Yeah, the three actresses promoting their Instagrams. That was really great.
Yeah, it was really awkward. She's like, and the movie's about, no, don't say about the movie. You're like, yeah, shut the fuck up.
I know. I had no idea. I really didn't know what the movie was about.
I mean, the marketing for this film, you watch it, like the trailers, you'd be like, I don't know about this movie, but it's horror. I love horror. I have to go see it. Joey King's okay for me. Why not? And then,
Yeah. Did you find the movie even remotely scary? Because I didn't find a single scene suspenseful at all.
there might have been one tense moment. That's it. That's the only thing I can think of. One.
It's about as bad as Annabelle, to be honest.
I didn't see that, so.
Oh, it's bad, man, and it's about as bad as that, and it's not as bad as Mortal Kombat Annihilation, which is an atrocity and a sin against humanity. But this is a really stupid, marketable horror movie. Mm-hmm. It's a movie that's exactly 90 minutes long, that has a soundtrack filled with current pop trance hits, a marketable young star that has a lot of followers
Yeah.
on Instagram.
Yeah, follow her some more.
Yeah, follow her on Instagram. And and it's a bunch of jump scares, and it's got a PG-13 rating, and it has a central item that kids can get scared of and talk about. in the wish box.
Yeah. Oh no, the box. Yeah.
And of course, there's so many scenes where they talk about its past history, where they do research on Google and learn about
Typical cliche shit. Yep.
Oh, I couldn't believe it, man. And every time she made a wish, I'm like, the first couple were just joke wishes, like, okay, I'll just joke, I'll hold this thing and make a wish, and they came true. Mm-hmm. And for like the first 2 or 3, she was a little curious, but like, I think anybody else would be like, okay, this thing's real. By the time the most popular guy in school that you're crushing on instantly likes you when you want him to, the very next morning,
yeah,
I think that's a good clue that maybe there's something a little more going on with this wish box after you wish for that to happen.
Nah.
But of course, and then as people continue to die, she has the opportunity now to make actual good wishes, like world peace or, world hunger or things that would actually improve the planet. Nope. All still selfish shit. Even one of her friends is like, why aren't you wishing for something like world peace? And she's crying and just getting all flustered about it.
Cure AIDS, bitch!
Something like that. Yeah. I felt she was such a really terrible lead character where I'm not ragging on the acting, but the character itself and the way the character was crafted in the script, there's really nothing. She has a past and something happened once,
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep. They only played that up one time. Thought it was really well. Besides that,
And yeah, back to it being not scary. It's just one of those movies where from sequence to sequence, the sound drains from it, and then all of a sudden a big loud noise.
Hold on. There's a level 4 demon here. Hold on, I have to fucking capture it. Wait, 1 minute. Wait a minute. What the fuck?
Okay. I take pleasure in gutting you, boy.
All right, sorry. I caught him. It's all good. Suck it. Yeah. All right, we can continue. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, it's kind of like this like knockoff Pokemon Go. They
Oh.
want to like really capture on the craze that's going on. So it's like a mobile game. I can send you a link on like Facebook.
Tell me about it. Do you capture demons?
Oh yeah, it's kind of like Pokemon Go. Straight up rip off, but can't pay the rights like Nintendo or something to make another game. So they kind of just go with that. Oh wait a minute, actually, shit, that was in the movie too.
Yeah, it really was, wasn't it?
It was.
God, every time that girl pulled out that app and started looking for demons to slay, I'm like in the very beginning of the movie when she was like, oh wow, I think what's Malformed Mary, is that the name? She's Malformed Mary was some demon that is in this Pokemon Go ripoff app. She's like, oh wow, I think she's at the school, I'm trying to capture her. As soon as they had like an entire sequence dedicated to that app, I'm like, okay, it's not a real app so far as I know, so it's not product placement, so this must come back later in the movie, and of course it does. And it's like a major plot device to get that character to go somewhere by herself.
Yes.
My God, dude. Like, the writing for this movie... Look, I mean, I don't like ragging on people in my reviews and stuff, and I'm not gonna, like... But fuck, it's so bad. Like,
Yeah.
This is, like, the funniest comedy I've seen so far this year.
Yeah, it really is. It's entertainment.
I laughed my ass off, man.
Yeah, it was. The execution was funny, and the writing was funny, I guess.
One of the reasons the deaths are so funny is because they didn't go for the R. So there's no blood, and they had to cut away from every really violent or graphic moment really quickly. So you got these fast inserts of things happening. There's a scene in this movie where someone takes their own life. The next morning, there's an ambulance. It's like 10 seconds, and the girl's like, and then it's done. They never talk about it again, ever.
Yep.
It's instantly done.
Randomly, I remember you telling me about, or talking right there, about that moment. Do you notice the color correction change from like scene 1, the prologue or whatever, to like the rest of the movie? All of a sudden, just like, it just drains everything. I'm like,
yes.
The fuck is this? The saturated ass shit?
Yeah, it looked really bad. And then she makes a wish at one point, and the saturation level comes up again. So basically, they were saying like when she's feeling bad, the cinematography is very desaturated and gray. When she's feeling happy, it's warm and bright. And that's the creativity behind the cinematography in Wish Upon. It's July. You know, this is a weekend that War for the Planet of the Apes is coming out, and this movie. This is a January movie, as far as I'm concerned. It's January, and for some reason, it's out in July in the middle of the summer. This is absolutely a January movie, but it's basically thrown in the summer so that, as you said, middle schoolers can go and have some
perfect.
fun.
Yeah.
And
they're not in school.
And yeah, I mean, and nothing against middle schoolers. I was one once.
We all were. I might have skipped it. No, just
Yeah, right. I mean, we just skipped to high school.
Yeah.
This movie is designed for the type of crowd that just wants to go to a movie and have those types of PG-13 scares that don't really do anything but jolt them for a second. This movie wasn't scary. The acting, I thought, was way over the top. There's a lot of scenes where Joey King really, really went for it. And it, as you said, we talked about it on the way home.
Yeah.
Could have been the direction.
Yeah, that's what I say. Yeah.
There's one specific scene that's all one take where she has started to kind of lose her mind and she's becoming obsessed with this wish box. Mm-hmm. The film doesn't really sell her psychosis. It doesn't really give you a reason for her to care that much about having it in her possession at all times, because it gets to that point for her character where she needs it all the time. But it felt so abrupt because, like, one scene, she's like, we need to get rid of it. They try to burn it. They try to smash it. The very next, 5 minutes later, she is losing her mind about not having it.
Yeah.
And they just didn't really sell that well in the movie. It comes off to me almost like a romantic comedy with jump scare elements, and none of it works.
Yeah, I can see that. It's a good way to put it. Like you said, this is a July film, but they've had success with past ghost films like The Conjuring, or been August, I think. Sometimes they have August, September. You want to get in right before October, because October all the shit comes out. Right. So sometimes those late, I think Conjuring made a shit ton of money. So Conjuring, I think Conjuring 2 was probably August or something.
They were both really successful.
Very successful. Good, but maybe they thought putting it in late summer-ish would have helped them out. We saw this trend back in the day. We'll just make Wish Upon.
Yeah. Clearly, we didn't really like this movie. I'm going to give Wish Upon an F.
Yep, a 1 on IMDb. It was about a 2 or 3-ish, but then I was like, just give it a 1.
Ugh.
Fuck it.
This movie, man. Thank you for joining me in this review, though.
Thank you for having me. It's been fun being in the presence of the Terminator and the Predator and the Alien. We got a Terminator poster over there. I don't think you guys can see that.
Yeah.
It's a very cool little cube I'm in presence of.
Well, I'm going to go back to reading the pre-treatment for this movie.
Okay. I'm going to go back to dreaming about Arnold or something.
All right.